All right, Shalom to Brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. And with that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the brothers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm going to jump right into the script. This is Luke 12 and 47. And it says, that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. So there's not going to be no excuses when the Lord comes back for your knowledge of the truth, and you're not doing nothing about it. There's a lot of Jakes in that position. They know that they're Israelites, and that's as far as it goes. They have no works to back it up. They have no there's no repenting. There's no change of lifestyle. There's no change in mentality. So they make a big ooh of it. They share lead that they're Hebrew Israelites and this, that, the other. They make merchandise of the house of the Lord by selling so-called Hebrew Israelite trinkets, Hebrew Israelite grills, whatever you want to call them, Hebrew Israelite clothing. Talking about Sakari and these other bugged out camps that sell merchandise. That's not the Lord's will, man. That's not the Lord's will. That's not preparing for this coming. So they're gonna have to answer for those things, man. This what they call the Hebrew Israelite movement. It's not based on their merchandise. It's not based on their music, their rap videos. It's not based on anything like that. This is solely by the Spirit. So they're going to answer to all those things, man. They're going to answer for not doing the Lord's will, because the Lord's will is not selling trinkets. The Lord's will is not making merchandise of so-called Hebrew Israelite uh, idea, whatever you want to call it. That's not the Lord's will. So you're not preparing yourself if you're into those things. I'm going to run that back again. It says, and the servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, neither did according to his will and the will of the Lord to do the work, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required. So whatever you learn in this truth, whatever is given unto you, whatever teaching, whatever knowledge, whatever wisdom is bestowed upon you by grace, you're responsible for bringing fruit out of that. There's a parable that answers that. I'm not going to get into it, but you can look at the scriptures and find it for yourself, man. Because like the Apostle Gabar and the Ramlab, the other apostles say, we're not going to do the work for you. You gotta search the scriptures, man. So that's part of searching the scriptures, is finding these things out, man. But I'm gonna get a few more precepts. This is Luke 12, and I'll just jump up. Luke 12 and 40. It says, "Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when you think not." And now that hour is pretty much here, man. So it can be at any moment where the Lord can just turn things up, and just things start escalating at a very fast pace, and before you know it, yeah, we out of here, man. You know. So be ye therefore ready. So this is a time to be prepared. This is a time to be ready, man. Then Peter said unto him, Lord, speakest thou this a parable unto us, or even to all? And the Lord said, Who then is the faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household? Faithful and wise steward. Let's get the word steward. This is the word steward. It says that, and the base, a house distributor, that is the manager, overseer. That's, same thing as a bishop. A bishop is overseer, responsible for his word. That's employee in that capacity, by extension, a fiscal agent. What that's going about the parable of talents. Figuratively, a preacher of the gospel, chamberlain, governor, steward. Slack, the manager of the household or household affairs. And this, we are managing this word, man. This word is given unto us to manage and bring forth fruit. So we have to be good stewards in that sense, man. Whom his Lord shall make rule over his household, to give him the portion of meat that means to be rewarded in due season. Blessed is that servant who the Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. So that's the mentality to have, man. Of truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he has. Why? Because elect, those that do his will, are going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, man. So Let's get to Rock 2 and 13. Well, I'll start at verse 8. This is Sirach or Ecclesiastes 2 and 8. So ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your word shall not fail. We're talking about, getting that due meat, getting that reward. So fearing the Lord, part of fearing the Lord is being ready, being prepared, and doing those works. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generation of old and see that ever any trust in the Lord it was confounded. So those men are on good case, man. Whether they suffered a martyr's death or not, they were always taken care of by the Most High. Whether any abide in fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of afflictions. To those that fear him, that's the key. Woe to be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goes ways. Faithful hearts and faint hands, those not willing to do the work. When you got faint hands, that means you're weak in doing the work, man. That means you're not doing the Lord's will. That means you're not being a faithful steward. It says, woe unto him that is faint hearted. You're weak in doing this work. You got to be strong minded to do this work, man. You gotta have a determination about you to do the work, and that's given by the Spirit. It says, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and you're seeing that happening, man. You're seeing men losing patience. You're seeing men, uh, coming out of this truth because they lost patience. They going back to the world because they lost patience, and that's going to continue to happen. I said, what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word. So those that fear the Lord, those that do his will, those elect men, they were not going to disobey his word. That means they continually do the work. And you see a perfect example of that. And the elders and apostles of great millstones. And they that love him will keep his way. So you got to think about that. That's how you can test your love for the Lord. That's how you can know if you're loving the Lord or not. Are you keeping his ways? That includes the work, man. That includes doing this work. That includes being a brother. That includes following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. That's keeping his ways. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. So that's how you measure if you love the Lord. If you're questioning that, that's the measuring stick right there. Let's have get Matthew the 10th chapter. It's Matthew the 10th chapter, and it says start at verse 37. See what it says. And these are the requirements of serving the Lord, man. So almost start at that's out of verse 32. It says Matthew 10:32. These the Lord is giving you requirements of service. It says, whosoever therefore shall confess before men, he will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. So confessing of the Lord's name, in the form of doing videos, in the form of being out on the highways and hedges. That's part of the requirements. But whosoever shall deny me before men, he will also deny me for my Father in heaven. We've seen men do that. They deny the name of the Lord. They denied his glory. When you say that we're not supposed to worship Yahweh Shai, you're denying the Lord, man. That's a form of denial. So think not that I come to send peace on earth, but I came not to send peace, but a sword. So that judgment is coming. If I come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, that's gonna happen, man. It's gonna be to such a desperate state where your own mother might give you up to the authorities, man. It says, and a man's fool for I am Slacker 36, and a man's fool should be they of his own household. He that loveth father and mother more than me, not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Because those tests and trials are coming, man. And they're gonna go to that degree. He that taketh not his cross and falls after me is not worthy of me. And that taking that cross is bearing the burden of this truth. Because when you come into this truth, you're coming into service of self-sacrifice. Just like Yahweh Shai did. He came into the service of self-sacrifice. And we're called to do the same things. He that findeth life shall lose it. He that loseth life for my sake shall find it. He that receiveth me, receiveth you, receives me. And he that receives me, receives him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet, the name of the prophet shall be a prophet's reward. He that receiveth a righteous man, the name of righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. Whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, very unto you, he shall not lose reward. So reward is going to require sacrifice. It's going to require diligence, and it's going to require being ready, man. And these are the times of being ready. These are the times of watching and praying to be counted worthy, man. These are the times of measuring yourself, examine yourself. If you love the Lord, do you love the Lord? Are you doing the requirements that Scripture says? To measure yourself in loving the Lord. And that's what keeping His ways, obeying His word, doing His work. That's why self-examination is always important. And we're in those times where things are gonna turn up, and if you was lackadaisical about it, if you was slothful about it, you gotta repent or you're gonna be destroyed, man. Plain and simple. So with that being said, it's a real quick lesson. Most I wouldn't hope is edifying. Then we give our honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. Brothers keep on pushing. Shalom.